Salut et bienvenue. Welcome to EBI21 Given Examples. If you're watching this, it's because your teacher has put this as an EBI in your latest assessment and you want to get better and you want to improve it. So first thing to say is well done. This is a great EBI to have. This is the last step you need to take to get onto a grade 7 for the content marks. Remember, you get marks for how well what you say and how well you express it, but also the complexity of your French. So this is the hardest one in that content mark, and it's because examiners love detail. You give opinions, you develop them, but then they want a bit more detail. You need to give an example of you doing the activity you're talking about. And this will put you into the top bracket, but it's more than that as well. Remember, we want to create really confident French speakers, and giving examples and developing what you say shows your confidence, shows your skill, and shows just how good you are. So that's what today's video is all about, but I'm afraid it's very hard, this EBI, and there's no quick fix to giving examples. You're going to have to do some steps yourself and work hard yourself to improve this. So what this video is going to do is give you some starter phrases to sort of help you out and start you off, but the rest is really down to you and what you can do in the long term to support your learning. So let's look at that first off. Donc, as I said in the first slide, there's no quick solution to this. You are going to need to put in the hours, literally the hours between now and your exam to get EBI21 up to standard. So first thing to do during next module, you need to climb the memorise table. The better your vocabulary, the better your ability to develop, to give examples, to show a more broader range of French to get you into the top categories. So vocabulary is key for you. You have got an EBI21 that's aimed at people to get a 7, 8 or a 9, so you should be doing at least half an hour on memorise every single week to have this vocabulary ready, to get it into your long-term memory, and then you'll be able to use it and to develop it. Put yourself a target. Spend half an hour on memorise between now and next assessment, and I promise you your grade will skyrocket. The second thing you need to do, it's all about practice. Today's videos will give you some pointers about how to give an example, but it's all about you practicing and developing your ideas and getting it wrong and then learning how to improve it. So think about your homework before an assessment. When you're doing your answers to those long list of questions, what I want you to do is think and make sure you get an example in what you write. So write it out and say, right, I've said what I like doing. Say, for example, at the weekend, I like going to the cinema with my friends because it's a chance to unwind and relax. And I love films. Cinema is my passion. Great, amazing, beautiful GCSE sentence. Develop it by giving me an example. For example, last weekend I saw a horror film called whatever, Stabby. It was ridiculous, but I really had a good time because I found it funny. Beautiful. That's an example. You've talked about that film that I just made up. That is what you need to do. That is how to get a 7, at least an 8 or a 9. You've got to give these examples, and it's all about practice. So those are the two long-term things we can do. What we're going to do today is look at some starter phrases that will start you off with your examples to see what you can do. Your extra challenge is down here. Make sure you know these starter phrases off by heart so you can use them. Let's have a little look at them now. Et voilà, travailler dans vue cahier rose mes enfants. Et ce qu'il faut faire, c'est ici. Donc ici, j'ai les phrases clés pour donner, pour développer les exemples en français. Il y avait une fois, il était une fois, la dernière fois que je fais ça. Ici, c'est le français. Ici, c'est l'anglais. Vous avez 2 minutes. Mettez la vidéo sur pause et essayez de trouver la paire entre le français et l'anglais. Par exemple, il y avait une fois, c'est J, there was once. Il était une fois. Et voilà, donc trouver la paire entre le français et l'anglais. 5 aujourd'hui, c'est le cible. Je serai content avec 5. 8 ou plus, c'est très fort. 10 sur 10, ce sera fantastique, mes petits. Alors, guys, you've got 2 minutes. Put a timer on your phone and actually spend the time with this. You don't have to copy all this out into your pink book. You can if you want, but you don't have to. You can just put the number and the letter for our first activity. Put me on pause. In 2 minutes time, recommencer la vidéo et je ferai les réponses. Bon courage. 3, 2, 1, allez. Et voilà mes petits, right guys, if you're listening to me now, it's because you've got to go linking these up and you are ready for our answers now. There's some really nice example starter phrases here. I'd love to see some of this in your work. So let's go for it. Il y avait une fois is how you say there was once. Il était une fois is like once upon a time or once. It doesn't matter if you've got C and J or J et C the wrong way around. Like they're pretty interchangeable, those two phrases. Use them both. This one here, number 2, il était une fois, that's how like fairy tale starts. It's a really nice one to use. The examiner will love it. Alors, numéro 3. La dernière fois que j'ai fait ça, c'est très similaire à numéro 4. La prochaine fois que je ferai ça. Numéro 3, c'est au passé, donc c'est F. Numéro 4, c'est au futur, et donc c'est V. And this is all about giving your examples and developing your ideas. So, number 3, the last time I did that, tell me what happened. Remember my cinema one and 2 slides ago, I went to the cinema. The last time I did that, I saw this film. You need to develop a story in the past tense, or use number 4, tell me something in the future tense. The next time I will do this, I will tell me something that you like doing and what you'll do next time. Using a different time frame shows such skill. The examiner will love it. Remember, this is the hardest, or one of the hardest EBIs we'll get. Numéro 5, par exemple, easy street. J, for example. Do you know we talk about the importance of the basics and getting the basic things right to impress the examiner? I see some beautiful pieces of French that are like pushing level 8, level 9, and then they write par exemple, and they change this word to port, and then this has got an A in it, and it just has such a big impression. Do the small things right. Par exemple, make sure you spell it correctly, make sure you're on top of it. Alors, numéro 6, je l'ai dit parce que veut dire I say this because, and then you can go on to developing with an example. Numéro 7, love this phrase. J'ai passé un bon moment car veut dire H. I had a nice time as, and then give me a reason why. Develop an example. I had a nice time as the atmosphere was really nice. Because, tell me, you need to develop your ideas. Numéro 7 et numéro 8, ce sont les synonymes. Je me suis bien amusé car, c'est I. I had a laugh as, like having a laugh is like had a good time. You can use 7 and 8, you can interchange them, use them both. Everyone should be using 7 and 8 in their assessments, in their exam even, at least one time. Alors, numéro 9 et numéro 10, ce sont quasiment les mêmes choses. Les différences, c'est numéro 9, c'est au passé, numéro 10, c'est au présent. Donc, cela m'a donné l'occasion de, c'est à, et numéro 10, cela me donne l'occasion de, c'est des. Voilà. Right, guys, so these are 10 starter phrases that you can use to develop your examples. You need to know these inside out, back to front, à l'envers. C'est donc la prochaine activité. Je vais expliquer en français encore une fois. Et voilà, mes petits, c'est exactement les mêmes choses, mais j'ai changé l'ordre ici. L'anglais n'est pas dans le même ordre qu'avant. Et ici, dans la boîte bleue, évidemment, j'ai pris les lettres clés. Donc maintenant, dans le cahier rose, il faut compléter la phrase, puis il faut trouver la paire encore une fois. Par exemple, il y avait une fois et trouver la paire. This word here, is this an S or a T? It's got to be perfect. No looking back. Test yourself and see what you can do. Complétez les phrases et puis trouver la paire. La même chose qu'avant, vous avez 2 minutes et 5, c'est le cible aujourd'hui. Essayez de gagner 5 ici. Alors, pause me for 2 minutes. See what you can do. I want you to write out 1 to 10, or the ones you can do, write them fully out in your book. So you can write all of number 1 in French and then put the letter. Do this in your pink books, not just to make it look nicer, but just to show you where you went wrong. So next time you do an assessment, you can look at your red pen and you know what to revise and what to do. So guys, 2 minutes pour faire ça. When you think you're done, when you've had your 2 minutes, recommencez la vidéo and I'll go through the answers again. Bon courage, on y va. Hello mes petits, alright guys, if you listen to me now, your 2 minutes is over and you're ready for our answers. Now you only get the mark today if it is absolutely perfect. If the slightest thing is wrong, we've talked about the importance of the accuracy and the impression you have on the examiner. So if the slightest thing is wrong, it is wrong today. Alors donc, on y va. Le premier, il y avait une fois, qui veut dire I, et il était une fois qui veut dire J. Use both of these. Tell a story. So once upon a time, I did this, or I did that. I love bowling. It's a chance to unwind and forget my problems. Also, I'm very good at bowling. Il était une fois que j'ai gagné une compétition contre les jeunes qui avaient 16 ans. Beautiful. That is the development. That's how to get an 8. I mean, I made that up, so obviously that's a 9. It's all about these development, guys. This is what you need to do. Alors, numéro 3 et numéro 4, attention. La dernière fois que j'ai fait ça. Fois is feminine, so you need the feminine form of dernière, like this. Same one here. La prochaine fois que je ferai ça. Past tense, future tense. Make sure you got these absolutely perfect. Numéro 5. I told you people get it wrong. Par exemple, with an E. Make sure you get that right. Numéro 6. Je le dis parce que. I say this because. Numéro 7. J'ai passé un bon moment car. Remember, you need this E with the accent. I've spent a good moment as, or I say in English, I had a nice time. Numéro 8. Je me suis bien amusé car. You need the E with the accent as well. And then our last two are different tenses. Look at the difference. Cela m'a donné l'occasion de. Cela me donne l'occasion de. Right, guys, mark them up. See how many you've got. You might want to do this activity again. You might want to rewind and have another go. You might want to use that extra challenge and take 2 or 3 of these phrases up here and stick them somewhere. Remember what I do. I've said this on almost every EBI video. I used to get a post-it. On one side, I'd write the French. On the other, I'd write the English. And then I'd stick it up on my mirror. And every time I looked at my mirror, I'd look at the post-it first and I'd have to like go through, I'd look at the English and try and say the French, and then I'd check what I didn't know, or like I used to highlight what I didn't know, and then the next time I do those first. This is what you need to do to make it stick in your brain. Use these tactics. Right, guys, this is all for EBI21. You're not quite done yet. You've got a daily test homework. Keep watching the video. The next slide will tell you all about it. This is a tough EBI. Well done for getting EBI21. Hopefully you'll crack it and you'll never see this video again. Alors, merci tout le monde. À la prochaine fois. Au revoir. Your next step is your daily test. So your French teacher will have set you this for your homework. You've got your daily test booklet. Do not write in the booklet. What I want you to do, step 1 is in your pink books. Copy out this box, copy out all the questions, copy out all the answers, and then copy out the blank test next to it. Then you're going to revise all the answers here. So you're going to spend your time learning this, make sure you master it. Once you've got it, this is what I want you to do. Cover up the answers, make sure you can't see them. And then in the blank test that you've copied out, take out your red pen, see if you can answer all of these questions and see if you can fill in any boxes. Then, once you've done that, uncover this and look at what you've done and mark up your work. What have you got right? What have you got wrong? And then have a look. This is the ideal bit. Rinse and repeat. Go back to the start. Revise the answers again and then test yourself again, and then revise again and then test again and then mark again, and repeat until you've absolutely cracked it. And then if you've cracked it, say you started Monday and by Tuesday you know it off by heart, great. I bet you by Friday you will have forgotten it again. It's called a daily test because we want you to do it once every day, and the best students do this. Test yourself every day. If you can do it for 5 consecutive days in a row and get 100%, you've cracked it, you've got it, you've done it. So that is your homework for next time. Your extra challenge, guys, is to make a revision poster on this. So why don't you watch the video again, pause it, make a poster, make it look amazing, stick it up in your room or show it to your French teacher, show to make sure you've mastered this. This is EBI7. It is so important. Hopefully now you're happy and you can crack it. Thank you for watching. À bientôt. Au revoir.